Hey there everybody, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Today we are continuing our short series on raising chickens. We last episode, which was the first episode in the series, we created the game. We kind of walked around through our different equipment, looking over what everything did. We harvested a field. We sold some wheat to make a little bit of money. And then we prepared and planted 3 fields, one with barley, one with soybean, and one with wheat. All of this was to kind of give a little intro to the game. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it, so I wanted to spend a little time just kind of familiarizing myself with setting things up. I wanted to make a little bit of money with the wheat that we had, and I needed to plant specifically barley because barley is what we're going to be feeding our chickens with. The soybeans and the wheat should just be, we should be able to just sell it. If we don't have enough barley to feed the chickens, we can also use the wheat, but hopefully we won't need to do that. So today we got quite a bit that we're going to need to accomplish. Today we're actually going to be buying our chicken coop. We're going to be buying chickens. We're going to harvest the fields that we have planted. We're going to sell off everything that we don't specifically need, and we're going to feed our chickens and get them growing so that they can produce eggs. I think that's a decent amount that we can accomplish today. I don't see any reason why that'll be a problem. So the first thing we're going to need to do is buy and place our chicken coop. So in here we have 2 selections, a chicken pasture and a chicken coop. We are going to be building a chicken coop. I believe the chicken coop automatically provides water. I think the pasture, you have to actually give them water or some extra stuff. It also is limited in how many chickens you can actually purchase and house. It's certainly a heck of a lot more expensive to do this, but you know, since chickens is the only thing we really care about in this series, we're going to go all out here. So we are going to go ahead and drag this over here. You'll see that the building is 79,000, but you see that amount's actually a little bit higher, and it kind of changes around based on where you put this thing down. It's not going to let me build on top of something else. Can't build over here, can't build over there. Only on open ground. However, to place this, that ground will need to be leveled. So, and that leveling costs money. So as you move this thing around, the more mountainous or the more hilly the area is that you want to place this coop, the more it's going to cost you to put it down. This is a relatively flat spot, so it's not really going to cost us a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and place that down. And we just spent our first 80 grand. And we will leave build mode, and let's go ahead and actually let's go over this way, and we're going to take a look at our new chicken coop and see what we've got. Now, we don't have any actual chickens yet. We're going to wait and buy those in a little bit. But what we have here is 2 interaction points. One is for feed. This is where we're going to drop off the food for the chickens. It's going to go ahead and fill up in here. And right here is where we can actually purchase our chickens. And we'll get into purchasing chickens in a little while. But before we get into any of that, we want to make ourselves a little bit more money, and we want to get ourselves ready so that we can actually feed these chickens. Right now we don't have anything to give them, so we are not going to buy them yet. I believe you can get away with not feeding them right off the bat, but I'm not going to do that. I don't, you know, that seems a little cruel to me. So what we are going to do is we're going to actually advance time until these fields are ready to harvest. Now, one of the things to note, we're not spending a lot of time with field work, so we're not going to be doing any fertilizing or anything like that. To maximize your yield in your fields, you need to fertilize, I think it's at least twice in order to get the maximum yield off of each field. If you don't fertilize, it'll still grow, you can still harvest it, you just don't get as much from it. I'm not going to bother fertilizing because all we care about is the chickens right now. So we are going to skip that, but we are going to go over here and we're going to advance time. And the way we're going to advance time is we're going to go over here, and you'll see right up there in the top corner, the little sleep button, and each time you sleep it will advance 1 day. Now the way that we have the game set up is that 1 day is equal to 1 month of time. So I'm not sure how many days it takes for these fields to grow. We'll actually find that out together. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and we'll sleep for 1 day, and then we'll go and take a look at these fields, and it looks like, well, we got some rain, we got some, okay. Seems like a kind of a slow animation. All right. And you can see that we've already got some stuff happening in these fields. We got stuff growing. Fantastic. It doesn't look, I wonder if this stuff didn't get planted. It's actually, I set up the helpers, the AI, to plant these fields, and it's actually possible that the seeder ran out of seed before it finished planting the wheat, but we don't care. That's plenty of seed. That's plenty of wheat that we're going to have. So it does look like at the first day we have ourselves some plants. And now we'll go ahead and sleep another day. I'm expecting it's going to be about 3 days or so in order to harvest. And it certainly does take its time. I'm assuming that it takes so long because it's doing a lot of calculating in the background. Each month is all right. So yeah, these have gotten, they don't look like they're too different, but a little bigger. Let's go ahead and advance again. We're gonna see how many times we need to do this until stuff gets up to what looks like a decent height, and then we're actually gonna go take a look at the soil map, and we'll be able to see that things are actually ready to harvest. All right, it's maybe a little, let's go ahead and pop into this menu and take a look at the map. So there we go. All right, as we look around here, we can see our soil conditions, and we want to see this growth filter right here. This is going to tell us when something's ready to harvest. You'll see the colors here. We're looking for orange to show up. Green means growing. Blue means cultivated. We can see right here that part of this field was not planted. It's cultivated, but it was never planted. So we've just got these 3 fields here that are just growing. Let's see if there's a way to, it says need rolling. We're not doing any of those things. Let's see what else we got. Crop types and back to growth. Yep, nothing more interesting here to see and do. So we just need to keep advancing time until these green things turn orange, and that means they're ready to harvest. So let's go ahead and one more time go ahead and advance. All right, so I did a quick lookup because I really wasn't sure how long. I wanted to make sure that something wasn't broken or whatever. I want to know how long this takes. So I did a little quick lookup to see how many days or how many months before we're going to be able to harvest. So wheat, which is in this field, is 10 months, which means 10 days of advancing. Barley is 9 months, which is in another field, and soybean is 6 months in the other field. So we still need to advance 3 more days before soybeans are even ready. So I'm going to go ahead and advance 3 more days until our soybean is ready to harvest, and then we'll go ahead and continue from there. All right, so we have advanced time, and we have 2 fields that are ready to harvest. The list I looked up must not have been accurate, but if you see, we pull this up, and we've got this field here is orange, and this field here is orange. So we can actually harvest everything except the wheat, which means we're going to be able to buy our chickens, because the barley is all we need in order to feed them. And the soybean is just going to be so we can make a little bit of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at these 2 fields here. Just check them out. Yep, that looks pretty good. Very nice. Is that our soybean or our barley? I think that's our barley. Let's take a look over here. This all looks great. Actually, this is the barley. The other one's the soybean. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. By the way, I was not really aware, but there's a quick way you saw me doing a lot of running around in the last episode from one tractor to the other. which was kind of interesting so that you can see things and all that. But really, if you hit the left and right on the direction pad, you can jump around from one truck to the other. Oh, geez, that's kind of freaking you out. Boop, boop, boop. That's fun. All right, so that's the easy way to be able to get from one place to the other without taking forever. So let's go ahead and bring this. You know, I am going to, yeah, I want to harvest the barley first, because then I want to get that put up into the silo for the chickens, and then I will harvest the soybean later once we buy our chickens. So let's go ahead and so turn on harvester just like that, and great. Now we'll hire a worker, and we're gonna jump out and let that go. So now I'm going to show you something else. I didn't get a chance to show you this last episode because the field got finished before I could get over there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to load up this this barley at the same time that the harvester is doing. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and open up the cover. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to get over next to that guy, and we're going to follow him. And you're going to see how you can automatically unload the harvester and pour the grain or whatever into the back of this trailer. So yeah, let's go ahead and zip over here. We're going to need to get over onto the left side, right where that pipe is. And if we line it up right, all we need to do is get near there, and it should all happen automatically. There is a way, I guess, to be able to auto match speed with. Here we go. There it is. And the only thing I'm hoping is that I'm not, every time it looks like it's dumping something on the ground, I'm hoping that's not actually what's happening. All right, I'm going to follow this guy around for a couple more passes, and then we're going to take this barley and we're going to start loading it up into the silo. All right, great, that's plenty. Good enough. All I need to do is get enough feed in here to so that there's food available for the chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this food and we're going to drive it over to this point right here. And you'll see down at the bottom, you see that start overloading barley. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and what's happening here, you're going to see it all start dumping out, and what that's going to do is it's going to start adding that feed into the silo. And there we go. You saw a little progress bar down at the bottom filling up. I think that probably is telling me how much of the silo is full. Obviously it can take quite a lot of barley. Oop. Let's get this out of the way, and we'll take a quick look and see how much we got in there. All right, let's zip over here, and there we go. Food, 2,535 liters. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him harvest the rest of this field. I'm going to take the rest of this barley, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in that silo. Once we have that set, I'm going to get him harvesting the soybean, and then we're going to buy our chickens. And we're going to start seeing them do their chicken things. All right, great. That is the last of the barley from the harvester. Now let's go ahead and drop that in here, and then I'm going to get that harvester set up to start harvesting the soybeans, and then it's time to buy some chickens. Let's dump our food. Oh, that little progress bar that I thought might be for the silo was actually for the trailer. So that's fine. I am curious how you know the capacity of this silo and how close to full it is. So let's go ahead and take a look over here one more time. All right, we've got 4,000 liters of food. I'm sure there's a way to find out how full that is, but I don't know it. So we're not going to bother worrying about that. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off the pipe. We're going to fold the harvester, and we're going to drive this baby over and start getting our soybeans harvested so that we can make a little bit of money. We got about 22,000 right now. Chickens, there's a couple different types of chickens that you can buy, and I will go over all that in a minute. But we should be able to buy an okay amount. I don't think I need to fill that coop up for this little experiment. I think it's enough just to have an okay amount. So we're gonna go ahead and get over here, drive around that trailer, and set up the soybean harvest. All right, there we go. All right, so we now have our chicken coop. We have a good amount of food available, and all we are missing are actual chickens. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna open the animal dialog. Now, 3 different types of chickens that you can buy. Chicken, which is a baby. It's basically a chick. They don't produce anything. A 6-month-old chicken, these guys will start producing eggs pretty much immediately. I think it's every 2 months or something like that they start to spit out eggs. And then roosters. Roosters don't really do much. I believe they maybe make the hens lay a little bit more, but this is really for aesthetics, and it doesn't make enough of a difference to even bother with roosters, so there's no real reason to buy them. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to actually, I'm not sure if they look different when they're babies versus grown up and doing eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a few of each. We can buy up to 360 chickens. That's how many we're allowed to house. So let's go ahead and buy 10 baby chickens. And that's okay. Let's take a look at those first, and then we're going to go buy some more. And it looks like your baby chickens aren't actually babies at all. They look like just regular chickens to me. So we're just going to go over and buy, we are going to buy a couple roosters just because why not? And we're not buying 10 of them though. Let's buy 5 roosters just so, just to liven the place up. And let's go take a look at the roosters. Oh, there they are. Yeah, okay, they're kind of worth having around. They make noise. They do look pretty. So, great. Yeah, that's great. All right, now it's time to buy our egg-laying chickens. And for this, we want to buy, let's see, how much are we going to spend? We have 20-some thousand. We can actually, let's just buy a ton of them. Is there a way to speed this up? Let's go buy... Oop, looks like I can only buy 60 at a time. Doesn't let me go over that. All right, well then I guess we're buying 60 chickens. Yep. And there we go. That's all the chickens we're going to buy. And we've got ourselves quite the little flock in here. It doesn't look like 60-some to me. Let's see what this says. So we got 75 animals. Does that look like 75 to you? I don't think it's 75. What I think is happening here is that is just the, that's just a static animation of chickens. It probably renders them up to a certain, what is that, like 20? It looks like maybe 20. And the rest, well, maybe it'll get fuller over time. All right, so that is all set. Now that our chickens are purchased, we're gonna let them alone for a little bit. And we're going to go and pick up the soybean that's being harvested. And then we will sell this. And then we're going to go advance time a little bit until our wheat's ready to harvest. And with advancing time for the wheat, we should hopefully start to see a little bit of activity with the chickens. Maybe some eggs will start showing up. We're not gonna worry too much about taking care of the eggs and making actual money. That's going to be our next episode, which will be the last one for these chickens. So for today, we just want to get the rest of this stuff harvested, make a little bit more money, and then we will wrap it up. Let's go ahead and get over here. Come on. There you go. Now, I don't know if that's actually all of it. Once the AI worker leaves, I'm not sure if it goes ahead and... Oh, never mind. If the AI worker isn't there, that pipe doesn't come out on its own, and so you have to come in here and manually do it. But it looks like as long as you catch it as he's finishing, it will go ahead and dump out everything that's in the harvester. All right, that finishes up harvesting. Let's get this thing out of the way and stick it over here. And go ahead and fold it up, lower the head, and go ahead and get out. Now we're going to go sell our soybeans and make a little bit more money so that we are in a decent shape. All right, so now that we're on the road, we can talk a little bit about how I'm enjoying this series. The first video did pretty decent, like I said in my last Euro Truck episode. It does seem to be, people are watching it. It's not as comfortable for me playing this as playing the driving games. I'm not as familiar with how to do it. Honestly, it's probably not as fun. I really do like driving and exploring and things like that. So some of the truck driving games kind of really, scratch that itch that I have. This is maybe not quite as interesting to me. But one thing I have thought a lot about, I have been putting mind to this, is the forestry side of things. I have, oh, look at that guy. I have in the past spent a little bit of time doing forestry, and I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. I liked that idea of, clearing space and selling lumber and, going to the sawmill and all that kind of stuff. All that sort of stuff was pretty fun. I didn't get too far into it, but what I did do was enjoyable. So I think after I finish the chickens up, I'm going to fiddle around with forestry. Maybe do a quick little mini series on forestry as well. See what I think about that. And then revisit the decision on whether I want to keep doing this or if I want to. There's a couple other simulation games that I've been reading about and thinking about also playing. But we'll see. We'll see. We're definitely going to finish this up first, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a little bit of forestry. All right, and we have arrived back at our farm, and we are now sitting at $20,000. Not too bad. We've got ourselves 75 chickens. Let's go ahead and take a look at this again. See what these things look like. So yeah, my understanding is that these things should start spitting out eggs in about 2 months, and they're going to come out right here where these little yellow things are, and then we're going to figure out what to do with them from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to advance time a couple more times real quick. This has actually been bugging me looking at this. Let me get in here and get this tractor off that field. There we go. All right, perfect. We're going to advance time maybe 2 more months and see if this wheat's ready to go. And we're going to take one last look at this chickens, and then we're gonna go ahead and call it. We're not gonna do anything with that field yet. And this actually looks like it's ready to harvest. Let's go ahead and pull that up and see. Yep, we got orange right here, so we are ready to harvest this wheat, but we're not going to do that yet. Let's go take a look at our chickens one more time and see if anything happened in that 1 month that I advanced time. We'll see if there's any. Does it look like there's any more in here than there were there before? Nah, that looks pretty much the same, but look at what we have here. We have got eggs. So that's pretty awesome. How many of them do we have? We have got 328 eggs. That's actually pretty darn good. I'm not going to sell these yet. I'm saving that for the last episode. I think I am going to wrap this up here. This was, yeah, it was another tough episode. These are a little harder for me because I'm so, I'm still trying to figure out how to play. So I'm kind of focusing on the mechanics and the controls and what I'm trying to do and all that. And it makes it hard for me to just kind of like chit chat and rap with you guys. about what's happening. And so it's a little rough around the edges for sure, but we're hopefully improving. You guys let me know in the comments what you think once again. Are you enjoying this? Are you not enjoying this? I would ask you for if you would please subscribe, like, hit the little notification things, all that engagement stuff. YouTube loves that stuff, and it will go ahead and promote my channel as a result of those engagements from you guys. But we're going to go ahead and call it. This is Ken from Covenant Gaming saying, see you later.